Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here and I haven't met you before, my name is Niah, it's nice to meet you. I really hope that you stick around by hitting that subscribe button down below and making sure that your post notifications are turned on so that you don't miss any of my new uploads. This is actually the first video that I've filmed since I've had my hair like this. I say hello to blonde Niah, but if you guys follow me on Instagram then you might have already seen me with this hair. I hope you guys like it and let me know what you think down below. I'm getting hot, I'm going to take off this jacket because I can already tell that I'm going to get too hot under these lights. So I just want to explain to you guys that today's video is the first part of a series that I'm hoping to do. So it's going to be called the Let's Talk About series, where you guys let me know any subjects that you want me to cover and anything that you would like to hear my advice on. Because I was thinking, I get so many of you guys DM me and message me for advice, and it's really difficult for me to literally be able to sit down with every single one of you. Like, I really wish that I could, but I just can't, it's just not possible. So I just thought that the next best thing that we have to that is if you're dealing with anything that you need a little bit of advice on. I've had people already ask me for advice on exams and taking exams at school. I've had people ask me for relationship advice and things like that. So I just thought it'd be a really fun idea to let you guys choose the topics, and then I can come back to you with my advice on that certain situation, and hopefully my advice will be able to help you guys out a little bit. So let me know what you think of this idea, and make sure that if you have any topics that you want me to cover that you comment it down below for me, because this series will not take off without your participation. I need the topics from you guys in order to make the videos for you, so please make sure that you get involved. But basically today's video, with it being the first video, it's a topic chosen by me. So today's video is going to be about dealing with illness. So I'm going to be sharing my experience in dealing with a long-term illness, and this advice that I'm about to give you can apply to any illness of any severity. So I do really hope that you guys enjoy this video and can find some way to relate to it, or if it can help you feel a little bit better about what you're going through. So make sure that you smash a thumbs up down below if you like the idea of this series, or if you like this video and can relate to it in some way. The reason I ask you guys to do that is just because it lets YouTube know that you're enjoying my videos, and it really helps me out. So I'd love you guys forever if you'll give this video a like. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, Twitter and Snapchat so that you never miss out on any of my posts. But I've talked way too much now, so let's just get on with the video. So the first thing that I want to cover is accepting your illness. So for me personally, I found that to be one of the most difficult parts of becoming ill, is accepting that you are maybe not as capable as you were previously, and most importantly, accepting the fact that it is not your fault. Self-blame can be really damaging, and I for a long time blamed myself for my skin condition, and I myself went through a stage where I started to struggle with depression, and it became really easy for me to blame myself for the fact that I was ill. And it's so easy to do that when you have responsibilities. Like if you have a job and you're not very well and you can't make it in, or you don't last the whole day at work because you're not very well. And I would sometimes get sent home within an hour of being there from having an allergic reaction, and it is really easy to start to blame yourself for what's happening to you, and I certainly did that for a very long time, and it wasn't healthy. But you guys need to realise that no matter what your illness is, whether it's an allergy to water, whether it's a physical illness, whether it's a mental illness, whatever illness you have is not your fault. It's never okay to blame yourself for what you're struggling with. As long as you're trying your hardest to make the best out of that situation, and you're trying your hardest to reach a point where you're recovering, then you can't ever turn around and blame yourself for being unwell, because it's just not fair. It's not fair on you. It's so important to realise that when it comes to your health, you're not always in control, and for that reason sometimes you have to put your health first before anything else. And even if at the time it seems like your health is holding you back, or it's stopping you from doing something that you want to be doing, you need to remember that it's all happening for a reason. The second thing that I really want to stress to you guys is when you're dealing with illness, it is so important to adjust your life accordingly to your illness. I'm not saying that you should completely uproot like every part of your routine, but what I mean is that you literally just need to make sure that every chance that you get to make your life that little bit easier for yourself, you take it. Like, it's so important to be realistic about what you can manage, especially with physical illnesses as well, because when you have a physical illness, it doesn't as much affect your mind as it does affect you physically. So even though sometimes like my mind might be like, oh, I feel okay today, like my skin doesn't always agree with that, and I could have allergic reactions all day. So you just need to be as realistic as you possibly can. Like, if you feel like you're not going to be able to do something, then don't push yourself too hard to do it. The likeliness of it is that you're going to fail, and you're going to feel so bad about the fact that you failed that it's going to end up causing you stress. And the aim should always be to minimize stress. You need to look out for yourself, and you need to try and make your life easier for yourself. And I do that for myself by being prepared. Even if I leave the house and it's bright sunshine, it's amazing sunshine, the hottest day of the year even, I'm not leaving that house without a coat. Because if it rains, I'm prepared for it to rain. I try to minimize disasters in my life. Like, I try to prevent things from happening that can cause me stress. And I promise you, it makes such a difference by thinking ahead and looking out for yourself like that. Especially if you suffer with like anxiety and you tend to worry about things a lot. It really does pay off to be prepared and to be organized and to be forward thinking. And personally, I know that it always calms me down a lot if I know that I'm prepared. Like, one thing that I used to really struggle with is that I wrongly assumed that the people around me, the people that love me, such as my mum, my friends, my boyfriend, I sort of just assumed that the closest people to me like had to be there for me, like they had to help me. And obviously the people who do love you, like your family, the people who are closest to you, they will always willingly help you. Like, they will always try and lend a hand if they can, and they will always try and make your illness a lot easier for you to deal with. But you should never let yourself just kind of slip into just expecting the help, because all it's ever going to do is make you seem ungrateful. And gratitude goes such a long way, you know, and it does make caring for someone so much easier if you're showing gratitude whilst you're doing it. I can remember I used to be really rude to the people around me during an allergic reaction. When I was in that state of pain, if my mum came in and tried to help me, I wouldn't always be nice to her. Like, sometimes I would snap at her for doing something wrong or not doing what I wanted her to do, and it's still not okay. And you just have to remember that, like, it's only for your benefit. Like, someone helping you is only for your benefit. Like, if I'm laying on the bed having an allergic reaction and my mum's trying to make sure that I've got food if I need it, a drink if I need it, medication if I need it, like, if she is trying to make sure that I have all of that, or if my boyfriend is trying to do that for me, or anyone, they are not required to do that. That is a favour, and that is something that you should always be grateful for. Whether they do it for you once a year or every single day, it's so important to make people feel like their efforts are appreciated, because what's the incentive for them to do it again? What's the incentive for them to help you next time if you don't make them feel like it was worthwhile? And I had that realisation that, like, realistically, whoever's looking after me, you know, like my mum, my boyfriend, whoever, they could walk out of the room and they could leave me in pain on my own. Like, they don't have to be here. They don't have to be here supporting me and trying to help me feel better. It's not part of their plan to be dealing with you, but they're willing because they love you. It's the same with any illness. You need to appreciate the people around you and the people who stay by your side, because what would you do if you didn't have it? Like, I don't know what I would do without the people that care for me. And the last thing that I think is so essential when you're dealing with an illness is don't just lay down and take it. Don't just give up. Don't be defeated by whatever you're going through. I know that's easier said than done. Like, I know how challenging it can be when you're not very well. Like, and it is just the simple fact that some days you're going to want to cry about it. Like, you are going to want to cry about it. I'm not saying that you can never show emotion about it. Don't be defeated by it. Like, you're allowed to fall over, but you've got to make sure that you keep on getting back up. And even though living life with illness is so difficult, I will always maintain that things like this happen to people for a reason. Like, I know for a fact that my illness has made me a better person. It's taught me to not take things for granted, which is something that admittedly I used to do. Like, you know, I needed to learn the lesson that having my skin condition has taught me, and it has taught me that, you know, people can be going through things and you might not be able to see it, but they are. I think it's so important that everyone is reminded that they are stronger than they think sometimes. Like, we've all had those moments where you feel like your life is absolutely over, and then it's not. You get through it, you grow through it. And when your illness gets you to a point where you think like, what is the point? This is so difficult, I can't do this. Just remember that you have more strength inside you than you realise. Whatever illness you're dealing with, whether it's serious or not, you can do it, angels. You really, really can do it. And in my opinion, guys, life is a lesson. Like, we learn countless lessons through life, and you just need to find what your illness can teach you. You are more than allowed to fall off. It's just, you need to keep getting back up. And as long as you guys promise me that you're going to keep doing that, then I can promise that to you too. So guys, that is the end of today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed the topic that we covered for the first episode of the Let's Talk About series. As I said at the beginning, make sure that you leave any topics that you want me to cover down below in the comments. And don't be shy. Like, we are all friends here, and I am willing to talk about everything with you. Like, I don't care. I'm so open, and I want us to be open with each other. So anything that you guys need advice on, anything you guys want to talk about, just let me know and I will film it for you. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed my advice on this subject. I just tried to cover the things that I felt were the most valuable things that I have taken from my illness, the most valuable lessons that I have learned, and the things that have made dealing with my illness that little bit easier for me. So I really, really do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.